Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Gonna be zipping out on the rad today, just showing y'all how I cleaned the front of the bike up, the wiring on it. But today's video is about goat power bikes and some of the issues that we're having with our bikes when we get them. I kind of hate making this video, but you see the orange pedals, aren't they beautiful? First of all, let's start with some of the major issues. And there's really only one major issue, and that's the batteries. Some people are getting batteries that don't work. They might charge them one time, and then the bike basically dies on them, and the battery's not even dead. The voltage is in the upper 50s. And they go back home, they think they've run the bike down to nothing. They go back home, they charge it back up, or try to. It won't charge, it's just a green light. So there's been some of that. There's been some batteries that have come off the bike on 3 occasions, 2 motor goats and 1 power goat. All these folks, except for one, said they swear the battery was locked down. One of them did say he wasn't for sure that he heard the click that you're supposed to hear. Another complaint is that the battery percentage doesn't read correctly. That to me, that's a we're not supposed to use the percentage. If it has voltage, you're supposed to use voltage, and it has voltage. First of all, the batteries on these bikes were just made in April, most of them. My battery was made on April 10th, 2024. Like I've talked about batteries, these lithium-ion batteries, especially these brand new ones, I guarantee you I'm going to have to charge that 5 to 10 times before it's at maximum charge and giving me the maximum efficiency, if then. But the percentage thing is, if you've been riding for 15 miles and your bike still says 100%, it's not 100%. Turn the bike off, turn it back on, and normally it'll be back to the right percentage. Or otherwise, just use your voltages, because they're correct, they're real close. There's been a lot of shipping damage from FedEx. Of course, I told y'all about the damage that I received. The guy had the box flipped up on the one end, basically where the ass end was on the ground and the front end was up in the air. At least he had it that way. He didn't have it forks down. But who knows if it had been forks down before. The derailleur guard was poking through the box and bent over. So, and I had, let's just go into some of the stuff I had issues with. My front brake rotors were bent. There's been a lot of that with other people, that the rotors are bent. I have to have that fixed. To me, I can fix that. I have a 6-inch C-wrench. It's easy to fix. You just need a little help with somebody holding the bike. You got it up on the jack, or I do. The brake pads. A lot of people are complaining about they're not lasting but 200 to 300 miles. It seems like my front brake pad is already rubbing metal. It sounds like it is anyway. I've already ordered some new brake pads. I've got them. I'm going to slap them on. But there's been complaints about the brakes on the bike and the rotors being bent. So bent rotors are easy to fix if you know what you're doing. Get your bike in the air. So if not, you should be able to take it to a shop and they should be able to fix that in 10 minutes. All right. The brake pads being poor quality, that is an issue. I can tell you that the Rev 1 brakes, you got 2-piece rotors and you had gold pads. So, we all know 2-piece rotors vent heat better, and pretty much so they're not going to rule 2-piece rotors. I can't tell what color the pads are in the bike, but the way people have been complaining about them, I can't see that they're a high quality pad. The way that my front brakes sound already, I can't see. So there's also been some shipping issues from Goat Power bikes as well that have not had anything to do with FedEx, like no keys to the batteries, no keys for the ignition. A couple other issues I had with the bike, my seat was missing 3 bolts, the front 3. It only had the 2 back bolts in it. I was kind of going over the bike when I first got it, and I saw the front of the seat was kind of moving around, and looked up under there and saw it was missing. I think I told you I had a rotor bolt loose in the brake rotor as well. You could say the builder did that, but that's still on Goat Power bikes. And then my controller was bouncing around under my seat real bad. What ended up happening is they're supposed to put double-sided mounting adhesive tape on each end of the controller and stick it down. It's got like a little box that's built underneath your seat that it sits in. And so it's supposed to be, mounted down with that mounting adhesive tape. Mine didn't have any adhesive tape. And it was, of course, the one end of it, the cables kind of hold it down. The other end, it was bouncing around. So I put some double-sided adhesive tape on each end, mounted it back down. But I also made a little thing out of my packing tape, just like a small thing that slides on top of it, that's a little bit wider than the gap between the controller and the top of my seat, or the bottom of the seat, and it kind of I force it in there and it kind of holds it down. And it's not real wide. I kind of reinforced it with gaffer's tape, so it's not going anywhere. Some of the other issues, people are complaining about the wide back tire. I don't really know why. People are getting flats on that rear. It's always the rear where you get the flat anyway. I've never had a flat on the front. It's always the rear. It's where the bulk of the weight is. It always seems like maybe the front slings it up just right, and the rear grabs it. I don't know. But I've never had a flat tire on the front. It's always been the rear. So, the back tire, you either going to like it or you don't. I think it's one of the things that makes the bike look really cool. It's got it looks a lot bigger than a 4.5-inch tire too. I will say that it looks like a 5. It's big. It's a big back tire. People, not only are they complaining about flats, but they're complaining about that they think they could get a better top speed, and they probably can without it. Probably get 1 or 2 more miles per hour faster without that bigger back tire back there. If you just put the same 4-inch equivalent of it back there, I bet you'd get 1 or 2 more miles per hour faster. But to me, I like the bigger back tire. It gives it, an offset from the front end. It really, it really stands out. It makes the rear end actually kind of pop a little bit more than normally they do. So, All right, well, next we're going to get into error codes, because error codes are a big complaint. And let me first of all say that there's a potential for 16 error codes. I don't know why we have a controller and a display that can have that many error codes. I don't know how many of them would actually ever pop up, but there's a total of 16 codes. Two of the codes that are happening most right now is the 06 code, which is when your battery gets down below 30%. You can't full throttle it on pedal assist 4 and 5. And then after it gets down even lower, you can't do it on pedal assist 3 either. It just, pops up the error code and it basically shuts you down. So, and then there's the Air 30 code, which has got something to do with the headlight, but I think it also has something to do with voltage as well. Because I was not getting an Air 30 code until I let my battery run down and did a night ride. It went down below 50%, the voltage got below 63 volts, and the headlight started flickering, and that's when I saw the Air 30 code pop up. So I just it doesn't affect you being able to ride the bike or not being able to ride the bike. It's just annoying. Okay. So I just turned the key off, cut the headlight off, and turned it back on and rode back home. And then went back and they give you a 4-pin wiring unit or a harness. It's a short one that just goes up into the front end of the handlebar area that you wire it in, and I guess it bypasses it. It loops it around instead of it being a direct line is what it shows on the map. So I don't consider most of these issues major other than the batteries. Obviously, batteries coming off your bike is a major issue. If these guys really had their batteries locked down, that's an issue. Okay, getting a bad battery is also a major issue. Okay, you're basically shut down. Now let me say this, Goat Power Bikes has been very good about replacing these batteries. Even the guys' batteries that fell off the bikes or flew off the bikes, they replaced them. So I got to say that for them, they are replacing everything. So shout out to them, that's good customer service. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Please leave me a like. Please subscribe and leave me some comments. We'll see you on the next ride. Y'all take care, everybody. Have a good one.